Hello, one again. This is Antonio, and I'm coming at you with another exciting video. I just attempted to do a video just now, and I came off like a struggle screamer because I definitely didn't do a very good job with that video because the video crashed. I will redo that video, but for now, we're going to dive into this content because the question is, why is the income gap so significant here in Atlanta, Georgia? Um, from what I determined, they say Atlanta has the highest inequality in the United States when it comes down to the wealth gap. So we need to dive into the reasoning for this. Can this be defeated? There's so many people who come off thinking that they got so much money and they think that they are doing so much better than the rest until you figure out collectively Black Americans control a $1.3 trillion buying power. But in actuality, we are really not covering anything financially. So let's dive into when I share my screen. If it's about to storm here in uh, in this great city, so let's go ahead and share the screen because we want to talk about something that's significant in this city, and that is Atlanta's income in inequality is the highest in the nation. Black Atlanteans continue to be left out of the city's economic success of the past several years, with inequities only exacerbated by inflation. Atlanta has led the nation in an inequality by at least a decade. All right, so let's come over here because this is significant. Also, on Team Tiggio, we are actually formulating this to an actual network where we will be releasing a variety of style videos. So we ask that you subscribe to the channel. It's not going to cost you anything, and you can unsubscribe at any time. We are growing the channel. We're going to be doing baking videos, fitness videos, traveling videos. We're going to have cooking videos. It's going to be a plethora of style videos that we're going to bring to the platform. So we actually going to do Team Tigio like an actual television network. Now, can it be done on YouTube? We don't know, but we're going to try. And we're going to be doing talking panels. A lot of stuff is about to happen on this platform. So we ask that you subscribe to the channel. But other than that, let's keep going. All right. Atlanta has the highest income inequality among large U.S. cities, according to recent data from the United States Census Bureau. Driving much of Atlanta's income inequality, experts say, is the city's entrenched racial disparities, which took root generations ago. Even as the city continues to prosper, many Black Atlanteans in particular, have been left out of its economic success story of the past several years. They added, the persistent economic struggles have been exacerbated by general inflation, especially rising food and gas prices, which are hitting lower income residents hard. So let's stop right there. You see all of these celebrities in Atlanta. You see people um, driving the best cars. When you drive around this city, you see the biggest houses. And then a lot of times in these big houses, you do see Black Atlanteans in those houses. But when you ride to other sides of Atlanta, you ride in apartments where the streets are broken up. The you can just tell it's not a neighborhood you want to be in. And what I never understood about this great city, why do people praise about being in an economic downfall? It's not the best environment that you want to be in. So without further ado, let's keep going. When a very large percentage is vulnerable to the kind of economic pressure, it says that we have a lot of work to do, said Cal Wead. Cal Wade, president and CEO of the Atlanta Community Food Bank, which is experiencing soaring demand for services. Now, if you go right downtown Atlanta right now, and you ride down about close to Atlanta Mission. If you go by, just say if you go not too far about the Greyhound station downtown, you can just see the poverty just brewing around the city. Is disheartening, but you definitely see it, right? So let's keep going. The city's dubious ranking is based on a measure of income inequality known as the Gini coefficient, used by economics and organizations across the globe. The latest census data spans a 5-year period from 2016 to 2020. The Gini coefficient measures how equally income is distributed among a population and is expressed in a decimal format ranging from 0 to 1. A score of 0 represents complete income equality within a community, meaning that every person has equal income. The higher the decimal score, the greater the inequality. A coefficient of 1 represents the most extreme concentration of wealth at the top. One person holds all the wealth, right? So we cooking with something right here. Atlanta has the largest gap between the poor and wealthy among cities with more than 100,000 residents, with a Gini coefficient of 0.5786, according to the census data. That's not good, folks. This is not a good sign. It's just not, right? Let's keep going. This is not a good sign, folks. All right, let's go here. Let's keep going. By comparison, New Orleans is ranked number 2 with a coefficient of 0.5655. New York City occupies the 7th spot with a coefficient of 0.5470. Tampa comes in at number 8 with a score of 0.5426. On the other extreme measures, has a coefficient score of 0.4710 and more equality ranking it at number 119. So that means that Phoenix have a better chance of a Gini coefficient. All right, let's keep going. Census data going back more than a decade shows Atlanta high inequality has persisted through the years. Atlanta has led the nation in this dubious ranking for at least a decade. Atlanta continues to benefit from strong economic growth, as does Georgia. The metro has a 17 out of the state's 19 Fortune 500 companies, according to the list published earlier this year. And the state continues to rank among the most attractive in the country to do business. But if that's the case, why are Black Americans left out? And I know I got animated, but it's the question. We act like we're doing so well. We act like, oh, it's so great over the side. Don't get me wrong. I love who we are. I love my people. But we need to dig down and get out of our arrogance and understand that as a whole, we are not doing that well as financially. And we about to see right here. But many Black residents are not seeing the benefits of this success, said Janelle Williams, co-founder of Atlanta Wealth Building Initiative. The median household income for a black family in Atlanta is $28,000, while the median income for white families is roughly $84,000. So when you see people go around say, "Oh, I don't need family. We good by ourselves." You clearly see that's totally not true. That's a bogus statement. And one of the reasons, and nobody going to be honest about this, but one of the reasons why this is happening is the sole fact that on the Richter scale, only 32% of our Black families are married. So that means that when you split the family down the middle, you got the husband who got, just say in general, or the spouse, 28,000, and then the other side of the family, 28,000. When you put that together, that's $56,000. Now, a lot of people gonna be like, "That's no money," but you clearly see that it says that Black families are not doing the best. It's just the truth, and you see it right here. I've just posted it. You can read it. But many Black American residents are not seeing the benefits of success, says Janelle Williams, co-founder of Atlanta. The median household income for a Black family in Atlanta is $28,000, while the median for white families is 84. Why is that? Right? Within Atlanta, the wealth gap often can be seen in stark geographic terms. Buckhead in the north is majority white and among the city's wealthiest areas. Thomasville Heights in southeast Atlanta is majority black and among the city's poorest neighborhoods, according to the census data. All right. So, why is it like this? I have no clue. But we need to dig deep, folks, and figure out a way out. And I see a lot of people coming in, like button if you like what you hear. Or just come back to this video at a later point. Experts point to several factors in Atlanta, past and present, that had contributed to the wealth gap, including pervasive redining, mass incarceration, gentrification, and a lack of healthcare access within Atlanta. Now, you know that Atlanta just lost 2 hospitals recent, and these were large hospitals in and in Black neighborhoods. They were walking distance from most residents. Now the residents going to have to live for Uber or get rides to go elsewhere because Grady can only house so many. Let's just call it like it is. All right. Some of those facts have not translated into new realities for Black people in this city, born south of I-20. Georgia Gwinnett College economics professor Jason Delaney says that the Gini index is a well-tested and widely used metric among economists, but he notes that there are some limitations. It does not account for different costs of living standards, nor does it account for the geographic distribution of wealth, he said. In Atlanta's case, many middle-class neighborhoods in Cobb, DeKalb, and Stone Mountain are left out of the calculations. City boundaries are incredibly political, Delaney said. The census defines metro population, and micro population areas as those which are economically and socially intertwined with the population center. In this case, Atlanta, looking at the broader definition, the picture is rousier for the Atlanta metro area. All right. The Atlanta metro ranks at number 227 for income inequality with the Gini coefficient of 0.4708, significantly better than New York metro area, which is 39, and the Houston metro is number 117. But while comparisons between cities are imperfect, so is the definition of the Atlanta metro area, which includes 29 counties stretching to Georgia's western and northern borders. Williams and team Trailer, Atlanta Wealth Building Initiatives, other co-founders say a mix of racial neutral and race explicit strategies, such as providing capital to Black-owned businesses, are needed to address Atlanta's wealth gap. What happened in the city happened with intent. So we want to be the intentional about how we address harm, and Black people are being locked out, Williams said. We do it with deep love for our city. So this is significant when you look at what's transpiring in this city. This city needs to, the wealth gap needs to be addressed, because when you look at the apparatus in the metro, Blacks are probably doing a little bit better. The medium, as you just read, is better, but the actual Atlanta people are not doing as well. When people are flexing and acting like they're doing so well, you clearly see that they're not. And I think some of this comes down to the dynamics of the lack of family. Blacks have the lowest level of family. We are in a constant fight of what's needed for our community. We need to come together and we need to love each other, because that's the only way we can fight poverty. You can't fight poverty fighting each other. The internal struggles, because I make more than you, I'm not happy, I'm not this. I don't care nothing about your happiness once you have kids. Now, a lot of people are going to dislike this video because I said this. When it comes down to kids, so many people say, well, I'm not going to stay in a family if I'm not happy. Okay, well, choose better, because a lot of people are not rushing to join homes of single mothers neither. So if you lay down and have a child, the equation is solved if y'all stay together and raise those kids together. So that's my personal opinion. Nobody's going to change that opinion. Put your opinions in the comments, how we can beat this economic gap. And then I need to come right back and fix the video I just did, because it didn't do well. So this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.